Starting us off in the year 1900, at the turn of the century, the US population was around 70 million and overseen by President William McKinley. On April 30th, Hawaii became an official US territory. It would become a state 59 years later. The Galveston hurricane hits Texas on September 8th, which would become one of America's deadliest natural disasters. 1901 marks the Great Fire of 1901 in Jacksonville, Florida. On September 6, William McKinley is shot and would die 8 days later, with Theodore Roosevelt succeeding him. On October 16th, he would invite Booker T. Washington, a prominent voice in the African American community, to the White House. This would spark racial violence in the South. Teddy Roosevelt is the most crucial man of the Progressive era, a time period where the power of businesses was being curbed by antitrust laws, after the massive success of J.D. Rockefeller or Cornelius Vanderbilt. This is why, in 1902, many businesses were prosecuted for violation of the new regulations that were instated. On May 20th, the US released Cuba from its American control, and on July 2nd, the Philippine-American War officially ended. In 1903, Cuba leased Guantanamo Bay to the US, and the US gained exclusive rights over the Panama Canal Zone, after Panama had become independent from Colombia earlier that month. On December 17th, the Wright brothers performed the first successful flight in history. In 1904, the US paid $10 million, or $288 million today, to have full control over the Panama Canal Zone, taking on the construction project, which would be completed 10 years later. Teddy Roosevelt beats Alton B. Parker, securing him 4 more years, and the very first New Year's Eve celebration was held in NYC. 1905 marks the founding of Las Vegas, and W.E.B. Du Bois establishes the Niagara Movement, which would later lead to the creation of the NAACP. Upton Sinclair published his most famous work, The Jungle, on February 26, 1906. This work exposed the truth of how poor immigrants were living in America, as well as the disgusting conditions of the meatpacking industry. This would later lead to Teddy Roosevelt's creation of the FDA on June 30th. Hershey Park opened in 1907. A record 1.1 million immigrants arrived at Ellis Island in one day, and the first electric ball drop is performed in Times Square. In 1908, a law created a year earlier went into effect, banning Japanese immigrants from entering the country. Harvard University creates Harvard Business School, and the Ford Model T becomes available for purchase for $850 or $22,000 today. William Howard Taft is elected as Teddy Roosevelt's successor. In 1909, US troops left Cuba, the NAACP was founded, and the decade closed off with the opening of the Manhattan Bridge.